Hey, it's your boy, Michael Gascon, the Horse Guru, and I'm coming with you today on how to find your confidence in the canter. For a lot of you guys out there, the walk and trot, yeah, you're pretty comfortable, but to canter off, you don't feel comfortable. And believe you me, I was in your shoes not too long ago. See, I spent my whole life riding fiery hot Pasofinos, but the wonderful thing about those hot horses is they're smooth as silk. So I never had to develop my seat and develop my canter, and I found that I was smacking my butt on their saddle and clapping on them. And my sister said I was doing the chicken wing dance when I would canter, and my elbows would flop all around and didn't feel very comfortable. I didn't feel very confident, and because of that, I really shied away from trotting horses because I didn't want to canter. So I stuck with gaited horses. But then I looked at myself to find the information, get the mentors, and really start figuring out how to ride warm bloods and quarter horses and Mustangs and everything. And now I feel very confident on any horse. And I'm going to share with you a few of the tips that have really helped me. So if you're watching this and you're having trouble with your canter, go back on the membership program and look at that lower leg video to start. Then here for getting more confidence in the canter. Number one, we're going to start with your seat. I find everybody likes to sit on their teeter-totter. Everybody loves to have that Kim Kardashian butt lift. They swing their leg over that saddle and find the back of it, and they put their butt up there. And it's a beautiful view, ladies, don't get me wrong. But I don't want to see your butt whenever you're riding. I can see it fine whenever you're walking. So with that butt up here, the problem with this is it sticks you forward and your shoulders get forward. So you think you're sitting up straight and pretty, but in all actuality, everything is bringing your shoulders forward and bringing your heels back. So you bought this whole saddle, so I want you to grab the front of the saddle, scoot yourself all the way to the front of the saddle until it looks provocative. Then I want you to sit down and roll back on your hips. Now you're sitting on your pockets. Okay, now your belt is touching the back of that saddle, you're rolled back. You can still sit up pretty when you want to, but the moment that you relax, you're gonna find that you're sitting on your pockets. Immediately you see my legs and heels come forward and my shoulders go back. What is this gonna allow me to do? I want you to think about it like this. Where your vertical line is, anything in front of that is going to throw off your equilibrium. Throwing off your equilibrium is the equivalent. Have you ever slipped in the kitchen? You sprained your wrist? Well, you didn't say, go, go, gadget, arm, save me. Your brain said, uh-oh, we're falling, and your arm shot out and tried to brace for it. And because of that, you ended up with a sprained wrist. What we want to do, for you to feel confident and connected with this horse, we want you to sit back so your mind is clear, okay? And we want you to stay connected to that horse. So if your rump is right on that horse and you're sitting deep in your saddle, you're going to be able to ride that wave and go with the horse instead of finding so much disconnect. And I find a lot of disconnect happens whenever you get stiff and rigid because you're nervous about cantering. Once you get tense and tight and that horse is moving, now you're separating every time that horse moves. So we want you to be sitting back so we can keep you relaxed, keep your mind at ease. And this relaxation, this ability to be able to exhale, this is going to let you go with your horse. And that's just what we want to find for your confidence. Today with me, I have one of my sister's ranch therapy programs. Anybody looking for a good cause, the Horse Haven ranch therapy program. My sister works with all these kids with special needs and autism, and she does really great work. And this is one of her noble steeds. I picked him on purpose because he is a big, jug-headed, hard-moving stomper. And he's very easy to be uncomfortable on such a big horse, big mover, kind of clumsy, kind of a heart of gold though. And I'm going to show you a couple tips that, along with how you're sitting in the saddle, if you apply this to your horse, it will help you. So for instance, if I just trot this horse around and let him have his head up and I'll let him have his nose out, he has a flat back and he is going to jar my fillings out of my teeth. The same horse, if I let him trot off and I have his head down and he is collected, he is going to move very soft and easy. So whenever I ask him to go, we'll trot around right here. And before we make any transition, even from the standstill, before we walk off or do anything, we want to make sure that he's giving, then walk off. And before every transition up or down, whether I am asking from the walk to the trot to the canter, I'm not going to allow this horse to do anything with me unless his head is down. What does this do for you and why does this make it more confident for your canter? It's very simple. I get so many horses here that people believe that the horse is very unathletic because it trots hard or it canters hard and it's a very rough ride. And that same horse, they come back 30 days later and it's a dream to ride. You can sit the trot, you can sit the canter very smoothly. And the only thing that changes is when they come, that horse's head is way up here in the air, his back's hollowed out, and he is just hitting that ground like a pile driver, and it's very rough on your body. What I'm gonna ask for PJ here to do, and again, PJ is not the most natural at this just because of how big and clumsy he is. I'm gonna ask for him to carry himself, and it's gonna completely change my ride. So he's walking around here, head down. Before I trot off, I'm gonna ask him to put his head down first. Squeeze my legs. So you see I'm sitting back on my pockets? PJ's a big old boy. Your horse is a very strong horse. And I don't even know what horse you have. But it's big, it's strong. It doesn't need you to get off of its back for it to go. So it's the same thing here with PJ. He doesn't need me to get off his back. He doesn't need me to post for him to be able to move. A lot of times we're taught that, but if you get taught that before you're comfortable on the horse's back, a lot of times it's hard for you to get confidence because you're sitting forward, you're stiff, you're tight. I need you to relax and just go with that horse. You see my body just wiggling around. There's no separation here. I squeeze my legs and I just go with him. This is really gonna help your confidence. All right, from here, when I ask for this canter departure, I'm gonna squeeze with my legs, right? For cantering, I only use one leg. So we're going to the right. That means I want the right leg. I would like the right lead. So I'm gonna use my left leg, which is my outside leg. With the idea of putting it back a little bit, I would like his hips to drop to the inside, and that's gonna get my right lead, all right? I understand that that's for another video, working about leads or anything like that. But I like to have my canter one-legged. I just push off with one. The other thing, when you're building confidence, a round pen or a small area to canter is invaluable. Because if you don't have to think about steering, you don't have to think about speed, you don't have to think about anything except relaxing on your horse, that's what's gonna make you confident. All right, so right here, I'm just gonna So you see he has a big, huge movement. And we're just gonna ask him to keep his head down there. And believe it or not, this is his nice, easy canter. Notice how far back my shoulders are. Notice how my elbows are down by my side. And I'm just letting him carry me. So if I could just spend time going around here. For you guys at home who are a little bit unconfident doing this, I need you guys to just go until you can breathe. Let him take you. He's trying to carry his head a little high. I drop it down right there. The lower he carries his head in the canter, the more he's gonna stride out, the rounder his back's gonna be, and the easier it's gonna be to canter on him. So imagine if you did this for 10 minutes a day, every day you would feel more confident. Every day you would feel better and better. A few pro tips. Don't sit forward. Don't chase him. This is not a cowboy movie. You don't have to be over their neck to canter. The other thing is don't choke up on the reins. Yes, we want his head down, but a lot of people will stand still with their reins on the horn. Whenever they go to walk, they'll pick up a little rein. When they go to trot, they'll pick up more rein. And by the time that they go to canter, they have that horse choked up so hard in the face that he has to give a crow hop. He has to act up. You want to give him the freedom to go, especially if you're working on your confidence. You want him to just move and go, be easy. All right, now I'm just gonna stop riding him here. I'm gonna take that pressure off. Notice that, he gets into that nice trot. And by nice, I mean horrible. Horriblest horse I could pick on the farm. And this is the one I picked for your video. Because if you can get comfortable cantering on him, anything else you pick is gonna be easy. Pro tips. Don't kick the horse forward and choke back on the horse at the same time. It makes for a rough ride. Pro tip number 2, don't leave their head way up in the air. If you can't see past them because their head's in front of you, that means that their back is hollowed out, their legs are gonna be real peg leg, and they're gonna be very choppy, which is gonna be very rough for you. And the other thing, lesson number 3, tip number 3, is don't chase them. Don't get out of the, if you see professionals do that, those professionals are already comfortable on the horse. When you see dressage riders riding perfect and sitting up straight, and English riders riding perfect and sitting up straight, and you see reiners and they're way out here over the head of the horse, understand that those professionals are already confident in the saddle, so they can sit however they want to sit and be confident. For you to build your confidence, we can't throw off your equilibrium. If you don't want to throw off your equilibrium, don't get in front of your vertical line. Don't let your heels get behind your hips. Don't let your shoulders get in front of your hips. Put that weight deep in your seat and canter long enough that you have to breathe or pass out, one of the two. Either is fine. I prefer if you breathe, but I want you to canter for 10 minutes, okay? Go around and around. A lot of folks will canter for a half a lap. That's not enough time to breathe. What I mean is, yes, up front it can be very terrifying, very uncomfortable, but if you don't break through that, if you don't push on your limits a little bit, if you don't push on your comfort zone is not gonna grow. So get you a nice enclosed place like this. Even if you need a friend to have a flag stick or a crop behind you to push your horse forward so you don't have to think about it, I want you somewhere where you don't have to think. You can just let your horse go and let them canter for 5 or 10 minutes at a time. So you can just relax and breathe, loosen up your diaphragm, loosen up your core, let your hips go with whatever horse that you're riding. And if you do this, it's not in no time. You'll be cantering your horse all over the place and feel very confident. And if you figure out how to canter on that loose rein down here, your balance is gonna be so much better for it. So many folks who learn how to canter with their hands on the reins, they don't realize how much they're balancing on the horse's face, because you put them on a horse that rides on loose rein and they feel lost. So if in the beginning you learn how to canter here, you put his head down and then drop those reins and leave him as low as you can get him on that loose rein, you're gonna build your balance off of your seat. You're gonna build your confidence off of your seat. And later on down the line, you're gonna make progression so much easier for yourself if this is where you find your comfort. And that's how you find confidence in the canter. Thanks, see you on the next video. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching our video. Make sure to get in the comments below and give us your feedback. Let us know what all problems you're having, if you're having any problems with the steps, if there's more videos or problems that you would like to see. We just want to better help you bond with your horse and help fix some of your equine problems and reach your equine goals.